Hey everybody, what's up? What's happening? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and welcome to another episode of Rant Café. The Rant Café is 47 already, which is just nuts. But it's always such a fun time. Recon, turn off your crazy notifications. It's always such a fun time to hang out with all these cool peeps here. And today we're going to be actually talking about what type of new anime you would want to create if you had the chance to create one. And as part of this, we're going to include 2 finalists from our writing contest that we had on our Discord server, AnimeUproar Discord. Check it out, link in the description. We had a bunch of entries of what kind of anime they would create if they had the chance, like a 1-page, 2-page sort of setup for an anime. And so we have the best 2, the top 2 that were picked by other people, such not myself. And we're going to be reading them at some point during this Rant Café, and then all of us together will decide which one we prefer, and that one will be the winner of the contest. Both of the finalists are fantasy, so it's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. But I also want to hear from you guys, obviously the guests with me here today, and also from people in the chat. If you had the chance to create an anime, what would you create and why? And let's make it good, everybody. Yeah. By the way, with me today, Soul Maka. What up?
Yo. Hey everyone. Soul Maka.
Kind of showing his face. It's blurry as shit.
Is it really blurry?
Kind of showing his face, which is still good because it's usually always me showing my face and everyone else is just hiding. And then I always feel like on the spot, man.
I will next time. I promise.
Is that better or is that still really blurry?
Well, it's the same old soul that I remember meeting back in town.
That's right.
I can hear somewhere. Okay. I was hearing some feedback. Okay, so we got Soul. Link to his new channel is in the description. He just started it. We also got the Anime Dude, and I have to add his link in the description right now, actually, because I forgot. Anime Dude, I'm working on that now. But until then, introduce yourself and say what's up.
Hey there, guys and gals. Anime Dude here. Wait, what do you mean by that?
That's it?
Oh, you want me to sit over on my channel?
Keep it short and sweet.
I overanalyze
That's
characters
all,
from
man.
Chinese cartoons, so go check it out. Short and sweet, to the point.
We also Anime Recon, the guy.
What up, my boys? It's gonna be fun today. So yeah, you already know what anime I want to make. Oh yeah.
I'm learning what anime you want to create, my friend. Also back with us again after last week is Nawa Gara. What's up, Nawa?
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for having me again.
Pleasure to have you. And is that everyone, everybody? Is that everyone? Did I miss anyone? No?
No?
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's us, guys. your crew here. And I've updated the links in the description to everyone's channel. Everyone should be in there now. Our boy Anime Dude, aka Jordan. Our boy Anime Recon. Nawagara and Soul Maka. So yes, now we should be good. And now let me actually look at the chat.
Such an active
In the
chat.
meantime, I don't know who wants to start. Who wants to start in terms of? I already have a bunch of ideas for what kind of anime I would want to make. And of course, let me know in the chat, and then I'll see when I see some cool ideas in the chat. I'll bring it up. But let me know who wants to start about one anime that you always wanted to make, if you had the chance.
Are we doing like original series or just things we'd like to see made into an anime?
Original.
Original.
From your mind.
All right, someone else go first then.
I was on the same page as Jordan. I was on the same page as Jordan because I was gonna say change 1, 2, 3, and Vampire Jujikai should definitely get animes. But yeah.
All right, think about original. This is gonna be tough.
I always thought it would be really cool if they made an anime series all based on YouTube. Like just had an anime about YouTubers and YouTube. Maybe you have like your little protagonist, who's not doing that well, and then everyone calls him crap, and then he winds up being the most viral or whatever, I thought that'd be really cool.
That would be cool, actually.
It's a hero. Okay.
Because I like that idea because it would be like, you know, you would have, you know, the villain, like someone like Jake Paul, right?
Yeah.
Who's just like, he's getting all this attention by just like clickbaiting and doing all this shady stuff. But then it's like Jake Paul, you realize later that it's just like, it's a conspiracy and he's just a pawn in someone else's game to make money and take control of the internet and brainwash young people with dabbing and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Exactly. And then, you know, you got like your protagonist guy and everyone's saying that he can't do it. And this will inspire little people too on the internet. They'll be like, I can be like this guy. I can be viral too, in a good way. That's positive.
Yes, I like it.
Was that touching the heart of anyone in this group?
No, I like the idea.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good.
Well, very moved. Very moved.
So what you want in this series is basically Joey the anime man to be in there and animated into a character so that he can inspire people. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I want like something different. You know what I mean? You don't want the anime to be based off anime creators. You want it to be someone big. So you need someone like someone probably like Ethan and Hila against like Logan Paul. Like that kind of mass, you know what I mean? Where they're kind of hitting all spectrums. Because let's be honest, we're kind of nicked tuck in like this small frame, you know what I mean? Towards these guys can kind of hit kind of all kind of spectrum of audience. Like everybody watches H3 Productions pretty much of all, you know what I mean?
I definitely do. But you know who I want to also see in there? Aniga Higa. I want to see that type of character in there too. Just hilarious dude who does parkour.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
By the way, Jonathan Essex said something interesting. He's like, YouTube shonen anime where your subscriber count is your power level.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Any battles?
Call me Reddit.
We're pretty much some of us here are over 9,000, so we have
You're
so much
gonna
power.
have to call me Puar or something. I'm so back right now.
Yeah, Soul is the youngin. He's just
He'll be our Krillin.
I'm Yamcha.
he's training. He's training.
Young.
No, don't give yourself that. At least Krillin. You don't have to go that low.
No, I
Come
got
on.
dibs on Krillin.
Nah,
No,
Krillin is
he's-
Krillin is cool, man. Krillin is cool. I like him.
He's okay.
Krillin's the strongest human, so
Yeah, he is, man. Yamcha's
he
shit.
isn't crap. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why I
yeah.
said don't give yourself so
So
much
yeah,
shit.
I guess we can say Soul is at Yamcha level, and soon he will
Yeah.
progress into Krillin
No,
level.
I might even be below that. I might be Yajirobe right now. You know, the fact that
So then that means that I'm a big dog here right now. But then I gotta like, you know, look up to Gigoken, Anime Man, and Aki Dearest, and like Misty.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, above me, right? They're like Super Saiyan Blue to my regular Super Saiyan.
Yeah, but you can't really see. Don't do that to yourself. Do not do that to yourself because you're gonna overwork yourself and you're gonna judge yourself. Don't do that. You guys are all at the same level. You guys are all friends and all in a knit group. We're all together in this.
I know in life, but for the anime, there has to be drama. There has to be self-loathing and a crybaby protagonist and shit. We have to have it. So
she's too nice for this place, really. She's too nice.
By the way-
Okay, if you're talking like cream of the crop, okay, in my particular opinion of view, I would definitely say when it comes to anime, definitely Joey, Aki, and Misty are on top of the mountain. And yes, we all are kind of crawling our way up there, but
You know, Misty's my father, so yeah.
Wait, there's
I
nothing
want to be
wrong.
just like Misty.
There's
Oh, boy.
nothing wrong with leaving a few corpses on your way to the top.
I mean, that's what YouTube is. Everyone's kind of digging with their nails on this freaking mountain.
Yes, it's a Hunger Games, but on YouTube.
Oh,
By the
that's
way-
a cool idea. Hunger Games anime series. That's good.
There you go.
By the way, Anger LN in the chat says, do a Dragon Ball Super vid. Funny fact, I just finished recording a Dragon Ball Super vid right before this Rant Café started. I still have to edit the audio, but I just finished recording it. So yeah, that's coming, boys. Probably in a day or two. Also, Mackelnut is in the chat. What up, my boy Mackel? I haven't seen him in a while because he usually works at this time now, but he's in the chat and he says he wants to see an anime where we live in an alternate timeline where gas ran dry in the 80s, and now we use the tears of kittens to fuel our world.
What?
Well,
There
I'm
you
a
go.
dog person, so I
Canon
don't.
again. Original.
As a dog person, I don't hate this. idea. What about you guys?
I think that's genius. I think
think
they have
so.
a very
I mean,
creative
I'm a
mind.
cat person. I still think that's a 10 out of 10 goal.
Yeah, it's very unique.
Make
It's
it
a very
happen.
unique concept.
Yeah.
Make it happen, Madhouse.
Miyazaki cat. Get the
You
fuck
could
out
make
of
it
Recon.
Not
see-
again, Recon. Not again.
The beauty of
I just love that meme. It's so catchy.
See, guys, the beauty of Anime Recon is that he can laugh at himself and has a good sense of humor, which is very important. So yeah, kudos to him. Grimac wants to see an iDubbbz content cop anime. I would watch that. I would watch that 100%. Luna wants to see an anime of the AnimeUproar Discord. Yes, I agree. We've had drama there. We've had troll raids. We've had everything. So yeah, technical difficulties, all that stuff would make for a great anime. But who is going next among our crew? Thank you, Nawa, for your insightful YouTube idea. And I think it would be cool because you could explore a lot of modern society's kind of social issues through that sort of idea that, popularity is what counts, and, being mainstream and popular is what makes you stronger. So, and this desire to be liked and popular, I think there's a lot to explore there. So even though we joke, I think it is a cool idea.
Yeah.
Who else wants to go?
I guess I'll go next.
Okay, the
I've
anime
always
dude.
been a big fan of sports anime.
Ain't nothing.
So I'm kind of disappointed this one hasn't happened yet. But I would love to see an anime based off of esports, with how those have become a big thing in recent years. Just competitive gaming and the way anime explores new concepts. I think they could really do so much with that. Kind of like how I thought. Have any of you guys seen Gamers?
Yes, I have.
I have
In the
not.
first episode, it was kind of misleading a little bit, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like a comedy harem type show, but in the first show they made it look like it was going to be about esports and competitive gaming, and so I was a little disappointed when it wasn't, but I think that would be a great concept in general.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah. I like that idea.
I could see that done.
Yeah. It actually works, and you can do a lot of different. You can add stuff to it too, even if you wanted.
By the way,
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of stuff in the comments, like a Rocket League anime, a Black Widow anime, stuff like that. But like I said, guys, we're doing original, stuff you came up with, not like game adaptations, Assassin's Creed, stuff like that. Kermac, you're funny, dude. Yeah, so let me know some original ideas, guys, and describe it a bit for me. Also, Miles says October 21st, the first Code Geass movie is going to be in theaters in Japan. Yes, it is. That's going to be exciting. Are we going to see new scenes? Are we going to get any news about the sequel at the end, which sometimes happens at the end of anime movies in Japan historically? We'll see. I'm looking forward to that. It's almost that time, so it's very cool.
I've got an idea.
Yes, Recon. I've been waiting for this,
It's
my
not
friend.
harem or anything, but I don't know if it's that good. But maybe an anime where the main character can read people's thoughts and minds.
Where the main character can?
Yes, that he has the power to read people's thoughts and minds. And
How do you say not a harem anime? Like the whole point.
Oh.
well, I don't understand. What do you
You can
mean?
make it a horror.
You can make it psychological.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
psychological.
yeah,
Exactly. He
yeah,
has
it could
psychic
definitely be
powers. And he
psychological.
can read people's thoughts and
And he's
what
the
they're
only
thinking
one.
of.
No, but Recon was the one that said it, so I understand.
But then how is it an ecchi harem?
That's what I said. It's not a harem.
Well, how can you suggest it if it's not an ecchi harem? I'm confused.
So you're saying, am I
I'm
only
confused.
supposed to suggest ecchi harem series?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
what I would expect.
Oh,
It's your stick, man. It's your stick.
all right.
Your niche.
I want more harem anime where the main character ain't no pussy.
I'll agree to that. I'm not a fan of Crybaby
Yeah, exactly.
characters
So
myself.
I'm kind of getting tired of the main character always, fucking afraid of girls, and every time he gets touched, he just backs them off and nosebleeds and shit. I want a main character with a serious
goes there
protagonist
and
who is
gets in
not
it.
afraid of girls. He's not afraid of fights and shit like that. And when the girls
just
hug
goes
him,
in
he's
there
like,
to
"Yes, come at me, ladies. I want you all."
Sounds like
Yeah,
school
shit like
days
that.
almost.
Fuck school days, man.
There's a joke. Yeah.
No, like one thing, you guys know that Eureka 7 is getting like a trilogy movie and then some new material as well. Well, I personally didn't like Eureka 7 because it has a stupid crybaby protagonist named Renton. And also the pacing I thought was bad, and like the cool characters that I wanted to know more about, I didn't, because it was all focused on Renton being a crybaby. But a lot of people are like, man, you don't get it. He's supposed to be a crybaby at that stage. It's like, no, okay? Just because it's the early stages of the anime doesn't mean that he has to be a crybaby. Look at Luffy. Look at other protagonists. They're not crybabies. Like even Eren. I love Eren because, yeah, sometimes he cries, but usually he's like, I will destroy all the Titans. Like, that's the kind of shit I want. Like, I want someone who's driven, who's actually motivated, who's actually going to inspire me to be driven and motivated. Not someone who's like, oh, no, I have responsibilities. Like, it works in Evangelion because Evangelion has such a deeper philosophical underpinning. So even though Shinji is a crybaby, it's like there's a lot there going on there. But when you have like a simple, you know, shonen with a protagonist being a crybaby, personally, I don't relate to it at all. I know Soul disagrees because he's a crybaby.
No, I liked Eureka 7. I did like it. I thought it was
Exactly.
good. I didn't find any problem with the pacing because the slow parts were explaining other aspects of the show, like the that disease when he found that guy with the woman, and you know she looks like she's in some kind of weird kind of dream-like coma state, and it's that disease that they're talking about that his sister ended up getting and stuff. You know what I mean? So, you know, it helped explain other aspects. So I didn't really see it as a pacing issue as such.
Yeah, but what the hell happened to Eureka where her appearance becomes completely weird? Like, what was that, man?
Oh, what, when she got absorbed into the plant thing?
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Like,
well, she's a thingy in it. She's like the alien race. So basically, she's kind of like merged with the source, and then that's what was changing her to look more alien-like, and that's why after at the end she went that full like weird green with the wings, and yeah, I mean, so yeah.
That like I didn't get. All of a sudden, her appearance gets weird and way less kawaii, mind you. And I was not a fan of the less kawaii. The cat gamer, please, we need an anime based around llamas.
That would be interesting. Wait, no,
They
wait,
have
there
one,
is.
don't
They do.
The Emperor's New Groove?
Yeah, no, there is actually. They're alpacas, I think, though.
Different. They are different.
There's an anime. There is an anime with animals and llamas and stuff. It's actually pretty funny. It's a comedy.
What's it called?
I forgot.
Oh, okay.
The
That
main
happens.
character
That
is, I think, a panda bear.
It probably
Oh,
has
no.
like 10 Japanese words as the name, so.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I hate
called
that.
something cafe. It's called something, I think, cafe.
Alpaca
About
Cafe.
a polar bear. It's about a polar bear who's running a cafe, and all these animals come and over there, and it's pretty funny.
I know our friend Simply Rose would enjoy that. She is a big fan of alpacas, and then we call it llamas, and then she gets upset. But she's another YouTuber, by the way. She lives in Korea, though, now, so she hasn't been able to be on Rant Café due to time zone craziness. But La Borabong had an idea of an anime where the anime characters know that they're in an anime, and they're trying to fight against the creator in order to stop being controlled. Kind of reminds me of Recreators, but different. I like the idea.
That's a very good concept. I like that.
I got another idea.
Well,
So come on, Soul, by the way, you owe us an anime idea as well, and so do I. But
I do.
Recon, I do want you to think about, I don't know if maybe not on the spot, but by the end of this Rant Café, I want you to think about the ultimate ecchi harem anime. You've seen so many. So I want you to think of the ultimate one and to share it with us. What you, as the expert, think would be the ultimate, the perfect,
The perfect
the
ecchi.
final form of an ecchi harem anime.
Uproar, you can't
Okay.
do that, man. Sword
No,
Art
no, no,
Online
it's fine.
already
It's a true
performed.
challenge. It's a true challenge towards the Harem King, so why not? I'll do it.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Sword Art Online was already perfect. Like, can't get any better.
Well, it is already perfect.
Oh gosh.
Don't start a war.
Oh, you just reminded me. Did you hear about SAO actually hit #1 on DVD and Blu-ray sales for their movie?
Did it?
Yep, and they're coming out with some more episodes as well.
The world is full of recons.
I'm the only recon.
Shocking.
Ain't no other recon than your boy Recon. That doesn't make sense, does it?
I have friends that are into it, so I understand. I know there's people that are into it.
I suppose. Soul, do you have an idea?
Um,
You've read a lot of manga, so in that
yes,
sense,
I've
you
read a
do have
lot.
an
I've
advantage.
read a lot. I mean, for me, I really like romance tragedy stories. Not necessarily that they have to die, but you know, they have to overcome some kind of hardship, you know, to get over. So I don't know. Mine probably for action's sake. I don't know. It might be like the story that I'm working on, that I'm trying to turn into the visual novel, I guess, which is like demons and angels. There's war going on in hell between the demons. Then the angels are getting involved because they can sense that, you know, they're gonna try and take over like the earth and stuff. They're gonna try break out and take over Earth. And there's one
No
like
offense,
guy
but I've
who's
seen a lot of hentai with that exact.
well, there is aspects of that. So play the game once it's made. No, but yeah, no. And then like the guy who's stuck in the middle, basically in a past life, he had got into a kind of like contract with one of the devils, and so in his new life now, he's still bound by that, and so they're after him. Both
That
sides.
sounds really
both sides are after
interesting.
him.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
So yeah, and
Yeah,
then,
it definitely follows in a tradition where it would be like appeal to existing fans of anime like Inuyasha and so forth. And then it's all about the execution, like how do you make it interesting, how do you make the characters appealing and stuff like that. But yeah, good work, Soul. I also had a anime god of greatness saying an anime where people make animal hybrids. We have some of that, of course, in Full Metal Alchemist with the chimeras. We have some of that in One Piece with the Zone Devil Fruit, right? So there is stuff like that, but I like the concept.
I got a good idea.
Luna wants more yaoi harem, so yeah.
I
What were
got
you
a good
saying,
idea.
Rico? Okay.
I have a good idea.
By the way, anime dude, you're very quiet now. I don't know what's happening. You need to.
Yeah, Jordan, speak up.
You were fine. No, you were fine initially, and then your mic went quiet.
Oh, my bad. I was having to do something, so I didn't want a bunch of noise in the background.
Lord Arturius wants to see Darth Vader in a hentai with hot girls. What about All for One from My Hero Academia in a hentai with hot girls? That's good too.
May I share my idea, Animac?
Do you already have the ultimate harem idea?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well,
The
give it
best
more thought, because I
harem
want it to be
harem.
ultimate, Recon.
It is the ultimate, trust me.
I want it to be ultimate, but
It is.
I wanted to say my idea, and I've talked about this before, but the idea I want to see as someone who studied political philosophy, guys, is an anime where a student who loves philosophy has to, after school, can't find a job because no one gives a shit about philosophy, of course. Everyone's all like in engineering and stuff like that. His family disowns him because he's not a productive member of society. He becomes a NEET. But then an insane millionaire or billionaire, an eccentric billionaire, decides to create a university focused completely on philosophy. And he has this like test thing that you can take if you want to join a school, and all the best people get accepted. And this guy, our main protagonist, takes the test and is accepted. So they go into this university. However, it's built in a very remote area. It's like in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. And all these students come from all over the world. And they basically have all these clubs in the school based on like different philosophies. So like, you know, the people who love Plato are on the roof. they'll hang out on the roof because that's, you know, he has the whole allegory of the cave where the true philosopher goes out of the cave and up into the sunlight and then understands the truth. Then you have, you know, the Marxists who are all about, you know, like the popular revolt against the elitists. Then you have Aristotle who believed in the political animal. So, you know, they have that kind of mindset. And then what I would do is I would have them kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh style duels, where they would have like a dual rink stadium where they would face off their different philosophies, and the philosophies would personify something from the thing. So, for example, a Marxist, they could create like an angry mob of revolutionaries to fight. And then the Aristotle people, they could create the political animal, like a huge beast that fights against the other guys, right? So it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh philosophy showdown. Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm in.
That just blew my mind.
It,
That was
it
very
did.
anime-like.
Yeah, and not only that, like, whoa.
I think you should be a director. Why don't you go to a studio and tell them your idea
Or a
and
scriptwriter.
let them make it into an anime? Because that sounds pretty good.
I'm going to go to Japan and just scream in English. I have an idea, guys.
Yeah, there we go.
But no, I like the concept because obviously I love philosophy, and also it would be a way to actually learn about different philosophies and stuff in a way that's hopefully fun. So yeah, I think that would be a cool high school anime idea, but like, or not high school, like college, whatever, but like just sexy stuff.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm ready for mine. The ultimate.
Oh, and
ecchi
hold on.
series.
I just want to add another thing. The president of the Aristotle Club would be a girl who's a total tsundere, and then the main character would make fun of her because Aristotle thought that women couldn't be citizens, and she would get really butthurt about that because he's like, why are you support Aristotle if he didn't think women should be citizens? She'd be like, shut up, you asshole, you baka.
Okay.
Anyway, I had to throw that in there.
All right.
Okay.
That's a
Recon,
little bit better.
to you.
I'm ready. So, the ultimate ecchi series that I want to be made into an anime. Basically, here thou it starts. So, the main character, first of all, there's a virus being spread about, and it only affects male humans.
Sounds familiar.
Sounding like a hentai.
Go on.
So, he jumps into a life pod,
Sounds very familiar.
Yes.
and then 3 years later, time moves by, and the virus wipes out the entire humans, only males, in the earth. He wakes up 3 years later.
Very
I know.
familiar.
Extremely familiar.
So he wakes back up from the life pod, and he's the only male. He walks outside, and the girls have not seen a single male for the past 3 years. He goes outside, witnesses a horde of females, and they were like, look, it's a boy! And so, what he has to do is to save humanity by reproducing with these girls to make more boys. The end.
Yeah,
Ultimate
that-
ecchi series.
that manga is
That's actually
that
real.
manga is called World's End Harem.
Yes,
World
that's actually
Tower.
real.
So yeah.
No, there's more. There's more. There's multiple. There's hentai like it, but yeah, man, why not?
That too.
I'm sure it's
I
gonna be
would
hard to
have
find
like
something
a
that hasn't been
guys
completely
thing
done.
just for like the incest thing of repopulating there, but I like it. Also, in Girls Bravo, there's a different world, like called Siren, where it's almost all women, hot women to boot.
Yeah, that's true too.
So yeah, the idea is not new, but I mean, it is the ultimate harem fantasy, isn't it?
So yeah.
Not only
I know it's a manga. I'm almost done reading it, and I'm in love. I need it to be an anime so badly.
Yeah.
no, but it's interesting because not only are girls interested, into the guy, into the guy for like, and you're like, why? It's like you understand why because he's like the only dude. So
Yeah,
it makes
he's the
sense.
only dude, so
They
they
have
want to
a-
reproduce with him so badly because they haven't seen a guy for 3 years.
They
Well,
have
the
a need
government-
to reproduce. It's
Yeah, the government wants him to basically reproduce with people because obviously the government has that need. And
it's flawless. It's flawless, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
It
a
really
precious
is.
commodity. He's a precious commodity in it. You know, because he
This
him
this
putting
is
them out.
this is the
Um,
ultimate series I want to be. I want
And
to.
yeah, and the women are they're just queuing up. You know what I mean? And then like they basically get them as like they screen them in it. So they're
Yeah,
like,
so
oh, this is your ideal, you know, this is the kind of woman you would go for, right personality, right
So-
kind of looks, right kind of shape. You know,
So
all these
here's
women
my
here,
idea.
you've got this class full of women that are your like ideal. You know, we've done the checking, we've done the background on, you know, there
So
you go.
here's my idea on how they're going to be reproducing. It's going to
Oh.
take place in the nurse's office.
Wait,
Whoa,
TMI.
you gotta.
I think we
TMI.
get it. We don't have to go.
We don't, yeah, we don't need too many details.
You don't need that.
I mean, we'll leave it to the imagination. But yeah, I want to use this opportunity to once again welcome Nawakata to Rant Cafe.
Okay.
Wait, what's up?
I hope you're enjoying these plot
Oh,
lines.
I
we're
always
coming
have a
up
good time.
with. I'm sure it's not
Oh
awkward
my
for you
God.
at all.
No, it's
But-
hilarious.
But Snoorly a while back said that he would be interested in an anime where the main character can feel everything that others feel towards him. Like he has a sense for how people feel towards him, even if they don't show it. Which I think could be interesting in like a high school setting. It's like certain girls just like don't like you for no reason or something, and you're like, oh, why didn't they like me? And then a girl does like you, but acts like she does like you, like a tsundere, and you're like, oh shit, what's going on? I think that could be an interesting idea.
Animac always goes back to Sundares. Always.
No, yeah,
Animac, do you like Sundares that much?
I have a weakness for them. I don't want to like them, but I do.
So many people hate Sundares.
When a girl plays hard to get and
No,
stuff,
people
she's
hate
like,
yandere.
you're a loser. I'm like, oh man, she's so
No, yandere is all right. Yandere is all right, but it just depends what type of yandere.
Exactly. I like them.
Yeah,
Those are my
yandere is all right.
favorites.
Like Albedo is a yandere, and she's great. She's awesome.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
then you've got your yanderes that's like
I like
know,
you know.
from-
I don't care what you say. I like you know.
yeah,
I don't.
no, but I mean she's more not liked, whereas Albedo is liked. Like you
Yeah.
ain't gonna find a lot of people saying, "Oh, I don't like Albedo,"
Yeah,
I
that's true.
and that's what I mean. There's different types of yanderes. So yeah, but I prefer yanderes or the what is it? The Nadeshiko type. Yeah, Nadeshiko. Yeah.
You like the
Like picture-
or like a
The
shuffle.
perfect wife in it. The perfect wife type in it. You know.
Shuffle have like a good kind of like people categorize that one brown hair. I forgot her name. She has like short brown hair. They categorize her as a yandere from Shuffle.
Oh
Yeah, she
yeah.
is.
Was
Yeah,
it Gome or
Shuffle is
something?
good
Or
series.
I forgot what her name
I don't
was. I completely. It's been so long since I seen that, but I just remember
Oh,
like her
same.
kind of snapping at the end, because it turned into such like a big harem and she couldn't take it anymore.
yeah, never expected that.
By the way, guys, Albedo is officially one of my 5 waifus in my harem. So I will tell you that right now. Also, we had some pretty great ideas for anime in the chat. Caster for Life would like to see an anime where Recon is the main character in a world where girls don't exist.
No!
Oh no!
Oh,
No way!
That's
Please
hell.
no.
that would be good
Please
because he would be
no.
going insane. You could turn that into
Yeah,
really
just like that would be a dark anime. Like Recon.
Wait. So there's not gonna be any girls, so it's just all boys.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe towards the end
No,
of the
thank
series,
you.
you find one girl. You know what I mean? But most of the
Like the
series,
whole thing is your search for a girl.
Oh, damn.
The whole
It's
thing is
crap
my
world.
search for where the fuck am I gonna find a girl where
No.
where nothing exists in the world?
What it should be is a world full of traps.
Bunch of traps mixed in, right?
A world full of traps. Yeah, I actually don't mind taking traps. I don't
What?
mind.
see, that's how he finds the girl, though. That's how he finds the girl, though. Is
Yeah,
like,
there's
I
he
mean, come on,
realizes, like,
I wouldn't mind taking Astolfo from Fate Apocrypha.
Okay,
What?
guys.
All right.
I'm,
So, since everyone
I
else
don't
is
know where
doing
this is heading, but
No,
That'd be a good
just
one.
no. No.
but I think Soul and Recon have to need their own like podcast
That's
where they can go explore these issues deeply.
No.
But
No.
my boy Lump King said that he would like to see an anime where weebs make a podcast every week called Triggered Cafeteria, and they talk about anime for an hour and have losers named Caster watch it. That is fire,
Damn.
especially
is.
the Caster part.
I don't know how
Very
they come up
nice.
with this stuff.
Damn.
ah,
So since Recon and Soul are both done a romance harem type anime. Should I try to come up with one too? So I think I have a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
For once, I'd like to see an anime where the romance isn't concluded by high school. Like it's not the meet that one girl in high school and by the end they fall in love. I'd rather see a protagonist that's kind of romantic, like go throughout life, be in a bunch of different relationships, have a lot of them not work out until he does find that one person. Maybe kind of like a How I Met Your Mother or something along those lines. But
isn't that just real life? The
That'd be good. That would be good.
To an extent, but I mean, at the same time, there's so many anime where everything's focused around high school and everything's focused around
something.
Finding that one true love on the first time, where most people don't go through that.
Yep, I agree with that very strongly. It's always the same thing. That's why I feel like there's a lot of big movie studios, like in Hollywood, that want to snag up a lot of these anime titles to make them live actions, because they realize that it's completely fresh and new and something that they can manipulate with. You know what I mean? Like make it something that of their own and westernize the shit out of it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind seeing that done
most
the other
people
way
are
around as well.
haven't seen it already, and a lot of Hollywood ideas nowadays are just rehashings of old ideas, right?
Exactly.
By the way, Madara said that I'm guessing she or he would like to see a psychological anime about a girl that tries to overthrow the government by manipulating the people around her. So like a female Lelouch, basically.
Well, it depends how she's manipulating. How's she going to manipulate?
Does she have an eye power, or is she just that good?
Sharma's asking, do I have a fan fiction that I like, that I want to see animated? I don't really read much fan fiction, to be honest, so no.
I feel like he's like talking about something. Like now that he said that, I'm sitting there thinking about, is that like Hillary Clinton the anime? Like if it was like one.
I don't really read fan fiction, but there are a lot of good stories over on like Royal Rodell, where there's just a lot of anime-like stories that people write in their spare time. There's some really good ones that have like thousands and thousands of views that would make great anime, but you know, Americans have trouble getting stuff like that adapted.
I agree.
I like it. I think we have a lot of good ideas, everyone. Especially my philosophy idea.
I definitely like the philosophy idea.
Yeah, that
would make a great manga more so than an anime.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know how wide would be the audience for a philosophy-centered anime. But I mean, with anime, it does break some crazy rules, because you have like such niche anime that end up taking off, like Food Wars, just like about food, or like, you know, like random sports. Like,
oh yeah,
there's the one where it's about they're just like farmers or something.
Or what's that one? Dog and Scissors. That's a really stupid one.
I don't know what that one is.
No, that was
about a
good.
dog and scissors. Literally, a chick that uses scissors and a dog. Doggy dog.
Animac, whenever you were talking about your philosophy anime, I was thinking back to like what's his name? Hachiman from My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu. He's probably one of the most popular characters in anime, and he's most well known for just the little philosophical rants he goes on in his head. And you wouldn't think it'd be very popular. It didn't seem like it translate very well from novel format to anime format, but there are so many people that just love that. So I feel like that could transfer over pretty well.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea.
A lot of it also depends on who's creating the anime, right? So it's like a lot of it depends on the director.
Who would you want to direct it?
I don't know. I want to see more from Jun Maeda. Like, I think, like someone mentioned in the chat earlier that modern anime, like they make you cry a lot more than like older anime did. And I feel like with Jun Maeda, his music, like the way he directs the anime, like you just hear the music and you're already like having an emotional breakdown. Macklenot knows what I'm talking about. It's like you don't even need to know the context. You just hear the music. Oh my god, something bad is gonna happen. I know it.
Yeah, that's good.
Soundtracks can definitely make or break a series.
Definitely. And same like voice actors.
Yeah, that's so true. The Black Clover, perfect example.
Yep.
So
Definitely.
annoying.
Is Black Clover good? I haven't seen that yet.
No.
It's not.
I don't know. I mean, to tell you the truth, it was really hard for me to get into the story, to enjoy it at all, with the protagonist having such an annoying voice.
Huh.
It was
Dang, that's
that
kind of
difficult.
disappointing because I've seen like some recent polls where it's ranked like #1 in Shonen Jump right now or whatever.
Perfect example, if you're like, kid in the 90s with HBO Family, they had this kids show called Crashbox, and there was Distraction News. That's a perfect analogy. It was distraction news. Like, pay attention to what's going on with this kid's voice.
They also say that whenever people make a manga or they write a novel, they're not doing so with an anime in mind. So
That's
there's
so
always that to
true.
consider. But
If you guys are ready now, I can read parts of the 2 finalists we have for the writing context, which is basically setups for an anime, and then we can judge which ones we love more. The whole thing, because I had thought that we were doing 1 page, but there's some of these that are like 2 pages or more, so I'm gonna have to read just like a 1 page worth, otherwise we'll be here all day. But if you guys are ready for that, I can begin with the first one, which is called Creation Myth of Zelionate, which is a fantasy.
sounds lit. Let's do it.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
So this is skipping some of the intro about the origins of the world and stuff like that, the divine entities that created it, but it's interesting stuff. And then we have the second era was one of darkness and lost hope for humanity. The few that remained had to work hard every day to survive. The essence of Yevgal scattered throughout the second Zelionate and implanted within each human helped them, but the planet had seen such dramatic disruptions that new creatures arose, horrible hybrids whose sole purpose was to kill everything they saw. Humanity began building giant citadels enclosed within massive walls. Many died from the beast's assault, but even more died of exhaustion in hope that their families would be safe. First arose Ragai, the red city built with the blood of its architects, which became the capital of the continent. The son of the king of the Second Age traveled north and found Natrok, the heir to wisdom. It currently has the largest library and number of scholars and is widely accepted to be the center of all knowledge. The king had another son who was born with the ability to control the essence of Yevgal. And this, by the way, is obviously the magical sort of divine powers there. He was the first recorded occurrence of it. He traveled west and founded Edwick, the Mist Shredder, which he destined to be the first city to have a ship cross the Misty Sea, a foggy ocean west of the country. Like, this is a really interesting, like, epic fantasy setup. I like it. Unless he's talking about the Misty Chronexia Sea. But if it's just a Misty Sea, then very fantasy. Many years after the king had a daughter, the first princess in the Second Age, she was born with an unusual skill, the gift of prophecy. 2 religions arose during this time, the Chapel of Yevgal in Eudek and the Chapel of Nothingness in Oklipes, a city founded by the princess and her husband. During that time, a researcher from Naruk, annoyed by the sterile attitude of the king towards new knowledge, took his experiments and his team and founded Alosh, using a mix of science and magic. Alosh became the new center of technological pioneering and magical discoveries. Many other cities were based around trade in the sea, the river, and the land, and so arose more cities in the north and the east. Then came the war again. A mighty earthquake shattered the range of the mountains in the north. From there poured out thousands of soldiers, catapults, cavalry, and demons. So then we have more talking about the different cities and stuff like that. But yes, so building up an epic fantasy here, different kingdoms, war, demons, soldiers, natural disasters. I think it has a lot of potential, guys.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like the whole, like, I don't want to say like Blue Exorcist feel, but that's like the kind of feel that I get, and I really like that.
I really like
we
the
have the kind of the setup for what's going to be happening is that the land has become sterile, and the few who still dare work it must fight every day with all their strength. The hybrids have overrun the land, and we fear an invasion from the outside. More than ever, Zelionate needs its savior. Never forget the prophecy, one child shall come. So it's like a lot of setting up for kind of the backstory, which I think in an anime would have to be given not all at once, but spaced out. However, we're setting up for a main protagonist who was prophesized of to come into the world and deal with a really messed up situation, really difficult challenges, and see if they can overcome. So yeah, as well,
I really
the full
like
thing.
that.
What are your thoughts?
I gave mine. I
Wasn't
gave
paying
you
attention.
your
here?
thoughts.
You want me to go ahead and go, Soul?
Yeah. You guys go. I'll go last. Go on.
I really do like the premise that they start out with, how it kind of sets that apocalyptic survivor, I don't know, feel. But then everybody is not segregated, but divided into different cities to where you're going to have different factions. A lot of conflicts can arise from that. People making grasp for power. You bring religion into it, and of course things get even more divided. I think that definitely has a lot of potential if done right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about it, Soul? Since you've read it.
Yeah, I really liked this story. I thought it was a great story. I liked how it began as well, which is the bit that you guys kind of missed. But yeah, I really liked how it's very detailed in its setup, for everything. So you can understand fully everything that's going on. So it shows that the writer really thought about what they were doing with this story, which, yeah, kudos to them. I really do like it. I would say it's definitely one of my favorites.
Welcome back, Recon. Any thoughts?
Sorry about that.
Why is everybody so quiet?
I don't know. I was waiting for
I
Recon's
thought-
thoughts.
I
I'm
thought
sorry.
Recon was involved.
I was trying to be respectful.
I didn't hear anything, so yeah.
You're all good, Recon. It happens.
Aw.
Yeah, so again, I definitely liked it, but a bit overly long in terms of reading the whole thing and having a setup. I think I was going for a 1-page thing. Now the second one is also 4 pages, so I'm gonna have to break
Whoa.
it down. And it's hard to pick, what's important, but I'll do my best. And Soul, have you read the full versions of both?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah, because by the way, thank you to Soul Maka, Ateru, Nana, Anbu, Original Ink. They helped out with. They had 10 entries, and then they sorted them and picked their favorites so that we could have the 2 they liked the most featured on Rant Café. And I don't know. We don't know the names of. Personally, I don't know the names of anybody because I don't want to be influenced by that. But the second story is called Unbounded Ceasing. Its genre is also, I'm selecting passages, but viewing the diary entry of that day, Niu weeps serenely. A mother's tears for her deceased child. Before, she had a constant depressed mood never fading. Neighbors saw the high-spirited mother always pondering. Why? A mirthful woman like herself should cope with loss, coping by with laughter and remembrance of heartwarming memories. Depression which contradicts her vibrant nature and a shared thought among her neighbors, one of concern. Niu perceived her neighbor's shared concern and simply smiled. An obvious facade of happiness acted for 9 months. Regis had heard about this when he was 14. He wrote this memory down as a diary entry. A mother and son both viewing the past concurrently. Closing his diary, Regis makes a brief, saddened reflection. To me, all I am is but a replacement. However, we both are substitutes to each other's loss. In place of a deceased son, Fortune proffered myself. Fortune proffered me a mother for the deceased one. That shared thought for our neighbors. Reason for it being my mother's vibrant, contagious nature. One assumes she always has immense vibrance radiating unboundlessly. Now, this one is not giving us the setup right away. So it's kind of through dialogue and stuff, we are getting what's happening. So it's a different strategy. Again, I would have liked the setup on the first page so that we can discuss it. But Soul, what else needs to be mentioned about this one? Do you remember?
Not too much.
Because what I'm getting right now is there is a mother who lost a child and a protagonist who lost a mother, and then they're somehow becoming replacements for that loss.
Yeah,
with each other.
it's more. I would say it's more a
Tragedy.
psychological kind of story, because it's more, you know, you're covering their thoughts and, you know, their feelings and how they perceive the world and the situation they're in, rather than it being like, you know, a battle shonen or something like that, you know, where it's just you're seeing day-to-day events. Yeah, I mean, this is more you're in the heads of the characters kind of thing, which is
That's-
Do
interesting.
you remember what the actual kind of setup for the anime is, like the world and stuff? Because I'm trying to sort through it.
No,
but I
because
can't
it
read
just
everything.
kind of starts. No, it just kind of starts with, you know, a father that was grieving, and that he was thankful that he got a new son, Regis, and that's pretty much where the story starts. And then that, I think that bit you read probably about the second paragraph down, so it's right near the beginning anyway. Yeah, because it just kind of just starts, you know. Just
Okay, but what is the story then? There's a king involved here, I see.
the king?
He wants you to simplify and tell him the story
Yeah,
to
like, what is the
simplify it.
setup?
I can't exactly do that right now.
That's
Wait,
the-
let me see.
From what you just said, we don't really understand much about the setting, but I do like how much emphasis they put on each of the characters. It seemed like they put a lot of detail into trying to characterize everybody, flesh out the characters more so than the setting and the world around them.
Yeah, it's just very character focused. It's not really a.
Well, I'm seeing a king here. So is the father a king and the son was like a replacement for his successor?
You see, I'm already confused.
Well, the thing is, like I said, these should have been like a one-page sort of setups for an anime, but the entries that I have here are too long for me to read.
All of them. So he's like, yeah, he wants them to like
the
simplify
problem
it.
because like this one right now is 4 pages. I can't read 4 pages; it'll take an hour. And
the Regis is a prince,
and he is the one that came.
He's the one who got adopted
replacement
by he's the one who got adopted by that family.
Oh, that actually sounds amazing. I really like that, especially when you got like that kind of tragedy involved, and anybody can sit there and like correlate with like parents and stuff like that. That could work for anything, for a lot of different genres. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because in terms of the writing style as well, the two are very different. They're both fantasy. So with the one with the psychological one still has like a king element, you know, inheriting a fantastical kingdom, all that stuff like the first one. However, the first one begins with a huge setup of like the world, kind of world building. Anime.
Yeah.
The second one goes right into the psychological issues of the characters, so it's a lot more character driven, and slowly through dialogue explains what is happening and sets up the world. So 2 very different approaches. So very interesting, I think, for both. That I would have liked to, like I said, have seen a more one-page to the point setup rather than going into the story as if it were a book, or that's beginning. But yeah, I do like both. Do any of you have a preference?
You wouldn't mind sharing the first story again, would you? Because I missed it.
Yes, I would, because it's going to take too long. So then, Rikan, you can sit this one out.
Well, personally, you can't really go wrong between a plot-driven show compared to a character-driven show. I think I prefer character-driven a little bit more, but as far as adaptations go, I think the one that does less describing of the setting gives a little bit more freedom to the creators. So it all just kind of depends on who you have make it if it was to be turned into an anime. Whereas, I don't know, the one that's very descriptive of the surroundings could also be done well, but you're going to have a lot less freedom. You're just going to be kind of trying to create the world that they describe.
Yeah, like I said, it's very difficult actually, to be honest with you, because of the fact that they're so different. So yeah, like you said, there's building in the first one, but there's not much about the characters. Like we set up that there's going to be a princess and that a child has been prophesized to come and save the world, but we don't know much about them as people, which is okay because it's a setup. The second one goes right into the characters. So even though it's a fantastical setting, we learn more about the characters first, and then we go into the fantasy. So the second one, I think, works better as a actual book, like how a book would happen, because in a book, maybe before with Lord of the Rings and stuff, you would do a lot of exposition right away. But nowadays, you would go into stuff like dialogue and characters and then slowly bring out the world. First one, it's kind of like brings you the world right away, and then as a setup. So it works kind of better as a setup. Very difficult decision. Soul, which do you prefer personally?
Me personally, I don't know. I prefer the first one. The first one you read. I do prefer that one.
The one that builds the world more.
Yeah, with the world building. Yeah, I do prefer that. It feels like a more detailed story. I do appreciate the Unbounded one, the more character detailed story. But it feels like it would be just a lot smaller, whereas the other one feels like it would be something more bigger, like something more like long running, more like monumental, higher stakes and stuff like that. But simple stories can work really well as well. Look at Koi no Katachi, so yeah.
Yeah, it's like a epic fantasy, which could have a huge cast of characters, kind of like Game of Thrones, versus driven psychological approach, and both can be really, really good and have been, done really well in the past, right? Okay, so you'll do that one. You vote for that one. Recon can't vote.
I know I can vote from what you guys have been saying. I think I've got a better understanding.
I can't count it. I can't in good conscience count it. Anime dude, your opinion?
It's tough. I think I'm gonna have to go with the first one as well, because while I'm huge on characters, and I think characters can definitely make or break a show, possibly even more so than the setting can, I'm more of a fan of shows that introduce a decent setting and then you get to know the characters over time, rather than trying to say everything about a character and try to make somebody understand them all at the very beginning. I don't know. It's kind of like Soul said. It has that potential to be a long-running show that, with a bigger, more complicated world, a lot more detail. But it just all kind of depends on how they go about it on either one of them. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with the first one.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that's a good. Like the first one reminds me a lot of like Attack on Titan, like how that begins, kind of like with this whole and an outside threat, and the second one is more kind of like an exploration of characters, kind of something in Ergo Proxy maybe, or Knights of Sidonia. Oh, it's tough. Nawa, what do you think?
Do they have like what's the final conclusion to the second story? Like, do they have a final
There's
conclusion?
no conclusion because they're all just setting things up.
Okay, this is all just a setup. Okay, then I will definitely.
Yeah, well, that was the intention for it. There would just be a setup for what could potentially happen. So we're not judging it as a story. I think that the second one is definitely made as a short story.
I'm sorry.
So yeah,
so
the second one is definitely a short story, which as a writer of short stories, I definitely appreciate. But now we're just looking at it in terms of how it would make an anime.
Yes. I think it was like easier, I guess, for me for the first one to kind of imagine a conclusion in my head. And with the second one, it's like you guys are kind of saying is more of like an outside threat versus, character buildup. But, this is really hard. I guess I'm going to have to honestly go with the first one, only because I truly feel that you can fit that in any genre and any studio could work with that.
So the one that does the world building.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I think that I have to agree as a anime setup that I definitely have to go with that one for the purposes of what we're doing here. However, definitely do appreciate the other one as a short story that has a lot of potential on its own. It's just that as a short story, obviously, we have to see a lot more about it. So it's good that it goes with the characters, but then we want to, the characters need to be developed over the course of a longer period, whereas for just a setup, building the world, the mythos of the world and stuff works better. So yeah, number one, what was the title again? Let me get it. Creation Myth of Zillionate. That is our winner. Congratulations. And thank you to everyone who contributed to the writing contest. It was a pleasure reading your work. I thank you so much to everyone who helped with the contest. That's the kind of cool shit we do on the Discord if you want to join. Anbu helped, Nana. Of course, we had Original Link helping, Sol Maka, who is here right now with us, and Ateru volunteered to help as well. So yeah, thanks, guys. Good work. As a writer myself, I see some good potential here, guys. So good work, all of you.
Let's say if either one of those was made into a novel.
As Macklemore says, thunderous applause.
Nice.
Which is also, coincidentally, how democracy dies.
That was funny.
Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars reference, yes.
Oh, that was funny.
I think Miles had said earlier, an anime you would like to see is an anime fan goes to Japan to find out news about the sequel for his favorite anime.
Ooh.
And I think that would be actually something like that would be cool. And yes, I know about the Attack on Titan 29th event, and if there is news, we will inform you. But I think something like that would be cool in terms of like the culture shock. So because we have a lot of like weebs out there now, huge anime fans outside of Japan who don't speak Japanese, I think it would be interesting to see an anime where a foreigner goes to Japan kind of like on a whim. He's a huge anime nerd, and then he tries to interact with native Japanese people maybe at a cafe or something, and then that creates hilarious things because like the foreigner would have all these stereotype beliefs about Japan and like samurai and shit like that, and that would always cause like funny situations, whereas like so the Japanese people there, like the main cast, they would consider him a friend, but he would always like embarrass them by his like lack of knowledge of the language and just like crazy outlandish things and just like dressing up as a samurai randomly one day, stuff like that. So I think that something like that would be interesting.
Anime about Illuminati.
An anime about Kanye, so Kanye can watch Kanye.
Oh man, Kanye is a character. I would watch an anime about Kanye. I'm not even gonna pretend
Anime about body pillows.
I would love that. Also, Lord Artorius said an animac hentai with Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. Now that I am conflicted, guys, with that. I'm conflicted because I love Ghost in the Shell. I think Motoko is a great character, but she's a cyborg. Should I be attracted to a cyborg?
Yes.
I've given this a lot of thought in the past because she's obviously attractive.
Yes.
Why not?
Why not?
If you've
Cyborg,
seen,
Cyborg is part human, right? Or...
if you've seen,
But she's full
Forte.
cyborg. She's full
if you've
cyborg, so basically her whole physical body is robotic.
Yeah, but if you see Mezzo Forte, you'll know that robots can work.
Have you ever seen Armitage?
Yeah, Armitage True, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Armitage. They work.
But
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like
cyborg
it's
means brain of a
interesting.
human.
It's an
right?
interesting philosophical thing. It's because it's like, at what point, and this is obviously Ghost in the Shell explores this very question. At what point does a cyborg stop being human altogether, or at what point does a AI become human? Like, what is human, right? So that's the question. It's like, if you're with someone who's full cyborg, are you with an actual human or are you with a machine?
You're with a machine, but you got to dig it.
Yeah.
That's that has to be your stick. That has to be what you're into.
Yeah, you have to dig it, definitely.
Like,
Yeah,
you think
that's-
there's people out there that there's
like I
people
said,
out there
I don't have an
hating
answer.
Nekos.
I don't have an answer, and I'm sure it was meant as a joke comment, but it's actually very interesting.
It is. It is. Chobits was one, but her on and off switch was inside of her, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only in the manga though does that get in the way.
No, they do it in the anime too.
Yeah, but in the anime they can still do it. They just can't have children.
I was about
They
to say,
say
what's the
that?
difference?
Do they say
Yeah.
that in the anime?
In the anime, yes, but in the
Are you
manga
serious?
they can't do it at all.
Oh, what's no?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, what's the difference between a cyborg and an android? Because my boy Krillin hooked up with Android 18, and that worked out well for him.
Well, a cyborg is a human who got cybernetic parts. If Android 18 used to be human, then she's essentially a cyborg.
A cyborg. Yeah, she's not actually an android.
Yeah,
an android
see,
is
An
pure
android would be
AI.
someone.
Yeah.
An android would be someone like a creature created as a robot that was not a human before.
Like Armitage.
Yeah, it's
That was
pure
a good
AI.
one.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, if Krillin can find love with Android 18, then I say go for it. Animac.
Yeah.
So
And
how
they
they
even had
do it?
kids. Well, they have
Because Android 18 can have children, so she clearly has an organic body.
Well,
Yeah.
cyborgs are part bio and part robotic, aren't they?
No, but
Yeah, you can
No,
make
no.
organic wombs. You can make robotic organic wombs. So they do, there's
Yeah.
stuff like that.
There
all
is
the
such
pretty
a
time.
thing
sure-
as biomech in it.
pretty sure in Ghost in the Shell, they can. That it's just
No.
that they can't reproduce. So they
And in Armitage,
However-
Armitage is the only one that can. Like she's
Well-
the only android that can reproduce because how she was built.
But I know in Ghost in the Shell, there's like reproduction in the sense of replicating one's intelligence and consciousness, but not physically.
No, not physically. No, I was talking about Armitage. In Armitage, she's the girl, the android, because it's like the same kind of setup as Ghost in the Shell, but they get. I love Armitage. That's a really good one. Like,
Yeah.
But she's the only one that can reproduce because she had a really awesome like scientist that worked on her and made her. She was one of the very few that could actually reproduce.
Yeah, she
Yeah, that
totally
actually-
dressed like a hoe though. Seriously, she did.
She was kick ass.
Her
That's
fashion
an interesting
sense was
aspect.
wrong.
That's an interesting aspect because it switches the game up. Because the whole point of Trobits is, if he loves her, he has to accept that she can't have children because she's a robot, for example, and other things like other sci-fi explore that same thing. It's like an android or a cyborg cannot have children. However, I think isn't in Dragon Ball Z, isn't what happens is that 18 is wished back to life with a human body.
No. She has the bomb removed from her.
Yeah, about to say there was no.
That was the wish.
I think even though they called her an android, she was more of a cyborg because she used to be human and then was transformed.
Yeah, her and her brother on it.
Yeah. So I don't believe there was any part of her that was ever just full on robot. She still had that ability without any wish being made.
I stopped after the Boo saga.
Oh, this was before the Boo saga.
Yeah,
whenever-
this is like the end of Cell. The end of Cell
Yeah.
is when the wish was made.
Perfect Cell.
It's been very many years.
Yeah, but same here. Like I watched it, but it's been a long time. But now I'm caught up with Super, and I definitely think that Android 18 is one of my top hottest girls in the Dragon Ball series.
See, so that's exactly what I'm saying. Just because it's a robot.
She's probably like
nobody
number
stopped you.
two. Number two for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is Asuna not in your harem?
Who?
Yeah.
Asuna.
Asuna is not in my harem.
No, we were
Reese-
just talking about Dragon Ball. No.
What about Reese Grimmery? Is she not in your harem as well?
No, because I don't really care for DxD or SAO.
You have a bad taste of
No,
girls.
Yeah,
but they're-
Mac, you gotta
They're
learn. from
hot.
the hair
They're
and
hot women. I won't deny, but I'm not like personality wise interested in them necessarily.
I feel bad for you.
Yeah, I do like redheads, Tsukoshi. I do. I like Colin. I like
Don't worry, Recon. I feel bad for him too.
there's several redheads. I like Colin. I like what's her name?
Thank you,
Yoko. Yeah, so yeah, for sure. Any other ideas for anime that are not jokes in the comments? By the way, even though the one Animac harem with Motoko was obviously a joke, we ended up talking about it for like 20 minutes, so that's interesting. I gotta say it sparked an interesting discussion.
Let's see. Scroll up.
It'd be a lot more interesting to see more video games turned into anime series.
I don't know. I mean,
Do they have a
I
good
don't.
track record of that?
Yeah,
feel
I was
like they
gonna
don't.
say I don't know any that worked out that well. So
Say it all depends on how it's done. Because I've
Zelda.
seen so many that are just badly adapted. Like they try to directly take
I feel
it
like
and keep the
Zelda
game
would do good,
mechanics and
though.
everything.
Zelda.
Oh, Zelda, that's an interesting one.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Or SpongeBob the anime.
But the thing is, with something like Zelda's being so iconic and popular, so many people would complain. No matter how they made it, so many people would complain. Like, this isn't my Zelda. This isn't my Link.
They're going to keep innovating and doing that. But what I do like is that they still have, no matter what, especially for like people that are like truly a part of that community, they should know that they're always going to keep the feel of, you know what I mean, the old games in there.
The problem with Zelda though is if they made an anime, it would mean they would have to give him a voice.
That's the crappy part. Oh crap! Yeah, no, you're right. Oh, they should just it should be something else. That would be bad. That'd be awful. No, not let him speak.
Anime Mouth wants to see an anime where all the Rant Cafe members, former and current, have a death battle against each other.
Oh, kind of like Mirai Nikki, kind of like that. That would be cool.
Batum, Batum.
That would be interesting. It's like you have to pick a pairs, so teams. Like every Rant Cafe member takes one fellow Rant Cafe member as a partner,
Who wants to
and
team up
together you
with
have
the
to
harem
kill all the other ones.
Animax
the
only
team?
like 4 hours away, so we're gonna have to team up.
Oh, I guess I'll
Yeah.
take Recon.
Yes,
No,
Jordan is
we'll
with
put
me.
Recon with Nux.
No, I think we should put Nux with
Yeah,
Recon.
Nux and Recon.
Oh shit! Oh god, that team. Oh my god, we
That
wouldn't even
would
have
be
to
the
worry
most
about them. They're
dysfunctional
killing each
team.
other.
That would
Nux
be
and
a
Recon.
great anime right there.
will
Nux
take
and Recon
Jordan.
as a team and their life depends on it. That would be brilliant idea.
I got dibs on Briggs. Yeah.
All right, cool. The One Piece crew.
Yes, sir.
The One Piece crew.
None of you other guys watch shonen.
No, I watch One Piece. I just started. I'm on episode I think 79. So don't give me any spoilers.
You're on what? 79.
Yep. Yeah, I just started the
Wow.
series. I
You
actually
got
was the
one way to
person.
go.
I was the
9
person
out
that
of-
was making fun of the series, and then my buddy was like, "Watch it," and we've been adamantly watching it crazy now. And now
So you have like about
hundreds,
79
man.
out of fucking 700 episodes. So yeah, good luck with
Hundreds.
that.
Hey, it gets better.
No, I think it's
luck
about
with
800 now, isn't it?
I
Probably.
think, yeah, it's
800.
800. I think. Good luck with
Yeah,
that.
like
Animation is
I-
getting better each episode. It's freaking amazing. And
I
like,
used to not think One Piece is good, but I hadn't watched it or not since I was a kid. But then my brother has been making some videos on it, and kind of I've been editing and helping him, and it sounds really interesting, man. I have to say. However, I'm gonna probably end up reading the manga. I'm not gonna watch the anime. I'm just gonna read the manga because everyone says the manga is better, and there's no fillers. So,
Yeah, that'd probably be the way to go.
that's what I'm gonna start.
and also my brother bought like all the manga. He spent like $400 on freaking.
Oh, cool.
The only
What?
problem I have with One Piece is just I get fatigued. That's it. I got fatigued with the series. It went on. It's too long. Everything
Yeah.
is too long. So it's just fatigue. So yeah.
How about an anime where you go into your favorite video game?
Like sucked into your favorite video game, kind of like
Yes.
Sword
SAO.
Art Online.
Or
Yes, sort of.
No Game No Life, or so many others.
Have you guys seen Dot Hack Sign?
Overlord.
I have not.
Dot Hack Sign was like one of the original get stuck in a video game anime, and it had a way better soundtrack, it had way better characters, a way better story plots, and how it was built up. Watch Dot Hack Sign, and like they have different series too of like different people that got stuck in the game, like as the games progress. So they have like Dot Hack Sign hacked or something like that, or some crap like that. But they have different ones, and they're really, really good.
Huh. You're like the first person I've ever heard say that. Usually people say it was actually boring or something.
Well, that's
compared to, like,
for
Sword Art Online.
Well, that's because 98% of the people that did it were 90s kids, and when they were watching it, they probably seen it on Toonami, and it was probably something a little bit too complex for somebody at like 15, you know what I mean?
That
I think
definitely
it
makes
was
sense.
definitely subtly for somebody who was in college, from me watch. I believe it was for like the older teenagers.
Yes, so definitely some cool stuff this rank of. I think it's time to slowly wrap it up. But before we do, Black Critic Guy says, He wrote a story about a world ruled by demons, not that original, I know. And they can only be killed by religious objects, most of which have been destroyed, or the bones of other demons. He continues, it follows a demon hunter who's also a demon as he travels the post-apocalyptic world, killing every demon in his path. Is this protagonist's name Blade by any chance? But thank you. Thank you, Black Critic Guy,
I
for
love
your
how it was less
sexy,
than a
sexy
page.
story. For your sexy story that could also easily be a hentai. It just depends what object is really used, what bone of the demon is really used to exercise all those succubus ladies.
That reminds me of what was it, Blade Play? Yeah, that's how he exercised demons with
So if you guys are
his
gonna be
magic
like that,
stick.
any anime can be turned into a hentai, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anything period can be turned into a hentai, that's for sure. But okay, guys, time to slowly wrap it up. Thanks everyone in the comments for your cool contributions. Thank you to everyone who participated in the contest and who helped around the contest. Congrats to the winner, who I don't actually know who it is because I don't know the names. We'll find out on Discord. Join the Discord link in the description. Leave a like if you like Rant Café. Before we go, Nawagata, who are you? What do you do? Tell the people.
I'm Nawagata. I do funny skits and hilarious anime news.
Thank you, Anime Dude.
Hey there, guys and gals. Jordan the Anime Dude here. I like to sit alone in a dark room and overanalyze fictional characters from Chinese cartoons. So go check me out.
So you're just like Digibro, pedantic, romantic, so many other people. I like
Guess
it.
so.
Especially
I haven't watched any of those guys, but I guess so.
Yeah, I know. Somaka to you.
Hi, yeah, I'm Solmaka. I mainly focus on manga. At the moment, I'm going to be doing some anime to manga comparisons, as well as some videos introducing short manga series that could get you into reading. I'm also on Discord all the time, always hosting VC sessions.
Yeah, Soul's always in the voice chat, organizing those, keeping the peace, enlightening the young fans about the beauty of manga and so on. And everyone's link, as I said, is in the description, including Soul's new channel. And last but not least, Recon, please don't do your inhaling crap.
No, I won't do it yet. What up, my boys? It's your boy Recon, and I mostly focus on top 10s, and everybody knows me as the Harem King. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, the Harem King, who initially came up with an anime idea that wasn't a harem. Oh,
It is a harem.
You stop defying expectations. People
is-
expect you not to like Sword Art Online.
It
And
is
you
a
like
harem.
it.
No, his original
You're
one
a-
was more of a psychological thing.
Yeah, it was like some kind of psychological horror, and then you came up with a harem.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. This was fun. I love to engage with all these crazy ideas. I know I couldn't read all the comments, but I appreciate all the comments that were contributing. And we're working on like 5 videos right now, me and my brother here at AnimeUproar, all for different anime, including Dragon Ball Super, as someone requested in the chat. That one is recorded right now. I'm just gonna edit it tonight. Hopefully it's gonna be out by tomorrow or Saturday at the latest. And a bunch of other videos as well. 5 different videos, all about different anime. So it's gonna be quite interesting. There's some Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, and more. So yeah, stay tuned. Maybe even a video on One Piece. So yeah, lots of stuff coming up within the next week or 2. Stay tuned. Thank you again for joining me. And until next time, until next Thursday when we do another Rant Café, see ya. Space Cowboys.
Bye.